Welcome to the Future of Real Estate, your chance to find out what's going on in real estate and the real estate market. This morning show is brought to you by the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group. RE/MAX's award winner for most transactions in Florida.
With the Ellis team at RE/MAX, it's a family affair. Always call the Ellis team, they'll handle you with care.
Good day and welcome to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group. I'm here with my mother, Sandy Ellis. If you haven't joined us before, you're in for a real treat. On this show, we talk about real estate issues affecting you. And today, we're going to give our New Year's predictions, aren't we?
Well, we certainly are.
Our format's changed a little bit because we're no longer under the radio constraints. We can just do whatever we want in video.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
And so what I thought is, it's the first show of the new year. I thought we'd focus on our predictions. And we talked about
Which all come true.
Usually they do. And this is what's in the news press this weekend.
Yeah.
So now let me preface it by saying we do an annual state of the market report, and we do a lot of data. And then we combine it from multiple MLS sources, and then we scrub it, eliminate duplicates, and do a lot of work. We don't do that data till mid-July, or mid-January, to get the agents all the time to get their end of the year stuff in.
Yeah, you really can't do it before that because there's so much entries in MLS that aren't there yet, you know. And
but because we do a good bit of analysis all year long, I think we can draw enough data, combine that with our experience, and come up with some interesting conclusions. But it won't be as conclusive as our annual State of the Market report, which we'll release on the show, and we'll also put on our website at topagent.com.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, Brett. And the other thing is that when you actually do that State of the Market report, you break it down by zip codes and areas and
price ranges and all kinds of things.
So that makes it really more pertinent to, you know, a specific person, you know, where they live, you know, whereas the other data that we see basically throughout the year is kind of the whole area. And sometimes it relates to your area and sometimes it doesn't exactly.
Well, let's get to the data. Now, we put a graph up. We start up. Tell you what, while we're doing that.
It's got a lot of little print there, huh?
I messed up already on the show.
Yeah?
But we'll get that graph up here in just 1 second. And this graph that we're going to show is our inventory and pending sales. And we track this over the course of time. And you can see how inventory is starting to rise. Now, most of the media has been reporting that inventory is going down, down, down. And you know what? It has been.
Some parts of it, some phases, some
areas. There has been some upticks in this inventory that most people aren't picking up on. Also, the pending sales have been going up, 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 up. We've been setting records. But as you can see, it's starting to trend down. We were down about 100 last month, which is not unusual because December typically tracks down from November and October anyway. And we had the expiration, or the anticipated expiration, of the home buyer tax credit. As we all know, that got extended at the 12th hour. So now we have until April 30th to get contracts under contract, and they've expanded it. Now it's not just people who haven't owned a home in 3 years. You know, you can, as long as you're buying it for a principal residence, you can own 2 homes and still get up to $6,500, not just the old $8,000 tax credit.
Yeah, which is really, really awesome. But you know, one of the things about this graph, Brett, where we're showing it coming down, if our listings are any indication of the marketplace as a whole, and you can't always tell if they are or not, you know, because actually we tend to have really nice listings. They're generally very well priced. They usually show very well. We've got good people. I mean, interesting scenario, okay? But if that's any indication of the market, this past week has been, you know, we're selling several homes in a day. So
I've talked to, and it's not just our team, Sandy.
Okay.
I've talked to a lot of agents. They have been busy the week leading up to Christmas.
Right.
And as you know, we've been terribly busy. Of course, we knew it because we had these buyers scheduled like a month ago. They were coming in that week after Christmas.
Right.
So I think we're going to have a really good season. And that's what this article is about.
Right.
So even though we've seen a slight increase in inventory and a slight decrease in pending sales.
I think that could reverse pretty quickly, I think what we're saying.
True.
Yeah.
Our northern friends are down. They realize Florida is on sale.
Yep.
I think that they could help eat into that inventory very quickly. Plus, we have that home buyer tax credit extended and, in fact, expanded. And
interest rates have gone up a little bit, but they're still awesome.
They're expected to go up about 6%, up to about 6% by the end of the year. So we'll have to see on that.
Yeah.
But there's a couple other things. The Treasury Department released new guidelines on short sales, which may make it easier to get some of these short sales through, at least for people who have homesteaded their homes, properties.
Okay. So which that
primary
can change
residences.
the mix also.
It
properties
could make
on the market.
more of these. It could also mean less foreclosures in the future. And you know what? We're already seeing less foreclosures. They're not out there as much. And the foreclosures that are coming are at the higher end of the price point. They're at the higher end of the market, which is going to help pull prices up because we have less of the lower prices to sell. Now, the higher price stuff becomes a bargain. So people are, of course, motivated to jump on it. It's going to help pull that median price up. The other thing is we've seen home prices go up 5 straight months. So it's up to about $95,100.
Yeah, and what was it 5 months ago?
It was like 87.
Yeah.
So it was up like 3.12 or 3.82% in the last month. As a matter of fact, we track some of this stuff pretty heavily. I might be able to throw up some.
Throw up?
Well, some people may be throwing up when they see some of this. Actually, you know what? I don't have this chart because it's a different spreadsheet. But I'll tell you what, I do have a chart here. Look at 2009. Look at November. Short sales actually went down in Cape Coral. They went down a little bit in Fort Myers. They went down in Lehigh Acres. Remember when we told people there was an uptick?
Yes.
Well, now there's a
I do.
downtick.
Yeah.
So with the new Treasury Department guidelines, maybe we'll start to see more of those short sales go through. It's an interesting phenomenon to track.
Well, and we will be tracking it, so we can always get that information from us here and also on the website, right?
Absolutely. Remember, go to topagent.com. You can search the entire MLS. You can take virtual tours of all our properties, and we normally do our featured properties of the week. This will be a little bit lighter version of the show because it is the first week of January. But when we come back next week, we'll have some of our featured properties of the week, and we'll have more in-depth analysis, of course. And so let's recap. Foreclosures are going down. The foreclosures that we do have coming out are going to be at the higher price, which is going to make them bargains. Short sales may go through.
Be more workable anyway.
The home
Yeah.
buyer tax credit has been extended
Still there.
and expanded.
Yeah.
Interest rates are still very low.
But maybe going up by the end of the year.
Our northern friends are here, and they're buying.
There's no disputing that.
I just see a
With those
perfect
license
storm.
plates, yeah.
I see a perfect storm for a great season. How about
Right,
you?
right. I agree with that, Brett.
I think a lot of the
Every
mortgage people
indicator is there.
I talk to and a lot of agents, and I don't think they're saying it because it's wishful thinking. Now, Lord knows we've had a tough market here in 4 months, for 4 years basically. So there would be a lot of wishful thinking, but I don't think that's the case. I think people are really busy right now.
Well, and I agree with that. And I even spoke with an agent on Sanibel this morning that was saying the very same thing, that their market has really picked up over the last few weeks. So interesting.
It's going to be interesting to watch. Now, last week we promised you we had a Chinese drywall expert.
We did.
Boy, we had some customers call
A lot
in.
of inquiries on that.
Now they're starting
yeah.
to ask, is there Chinese drywall on the properties? There's some people that want to work with us because we know about Chinese drywall. I would encourage the other agents out there, definitely watch that segment.
It's a very good segment.
And we're going to put that on topagent.com. When you click on the show, we're going to make that one of the best of. But we shot an extra segment that was not shown last week. And we are going to show that when we come back from break on this segment. So I would encourage people to stay tuned. So we got about a minute left. Any last thoughts on what you see happening in 2010?
Well, I just see the market starting to change, and I think that would be mainly the residential market first. There are some probably bad times ahead yet for the commercial market. Some people, I saw a prediction the other day that even said that some of the commercial indebtedness would still bring down some of the small banks, that kind of thing yet. So I think there's some things that has to level off a little bit, like we're starting to see the residential, but that will happen.
I agree. I think commercial's got a little bit ways to go. They were, when residential was hurting, they weren't, and now,
yeah.
so they lag the residential
They
market.
always follow those rooftops.
Well, you've been watching and listening to The Future of Real Estate. Remember, we'll be back each week with video updates, so remember to check back to topagent.com and stay tuned because in the next segment, we're going to have our Chinese drywall expert back to talk about remediation. That was a great show last week. If you want to catch it, simply go to backtotopagent.com. You can always reach us at 239-489-4042. To our out-of-town viewers, it's 1-800-860-4042. And don't forget our website, which is topagent.com, and we'll be right back.